Okay. Hello everyone, nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Febiyana Agustina, and you can call me Febi. And how are you all? Hope you're fine today, and maybe not only today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and next year too. So because today is a good day, I just want to tell you that I'm gonna do some short presentation about my dream job, my dream country for my future career, and maybe a little bit about similarities and difference between Indonesia and my dream country. Yeah, you're already curious, right? Of course, because maybe you have same dream country, so I can share about my dream country from what I already did search. And no need to renew, let's check it out. Guys, I will share my screen. So, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, let's start. Is it already seen? I'm sorry guys, it will take longer because I have a problem with my laptop. Is it already seen? Or not yet? Is it already seen? I can see myself in this screen, but I don't know why is it. Okay, I will remove. Okay, so guys, so this is about diagram, fine diagram, and it's explains about similarities and difference between Indonesia and my dream country. But before I start about this diagram, I want to tell you guys first about my dream job. So my dream job is to be an author, and I know some of you guys already know about this job because it will reading some book, and you having a hobby like reading book, you will always make this job because author is someone that make a story, and the story is going to publish and read by a lot of people. And yeah, I want to be an author, and my dream country is United Kingdom. And some facts about this country I will explain it now. So start from Indonesia first. About Indonesia and Indonesian work culture. Indonesia is a country in Southeast Asia and Oceania between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. You already know why, guys. Indonesia is an archipelago country that has so many islands, like Java Island, Bali Island, and more than that big island. In the government system of Indonesia is unitary state and democracy, and their official language is, of course, Indonesian. Indonesians have have their own language, their own constitution, their own government culture like that. And in Indonesian, it's talk about. I will start talking about your culture. And in Indonesia, most of people use private transportation than public transportation. Why? Because in Indonesia, as you know, that Indonesian have always have traffic what is I'm forget what is so they has traffic jam in their city like Jakarta have always have a traffic jam before going to work or after they're going to back home. And there is a reason why Indonesian people prefer private transportation than public transportation. And Indonesian people are not called their senior with their first name. Like they must call their seniors or maybe their co-workers with title like Bapak or Ibu, or for what is called for respect their co-workers. And during working hours, in addition to employees must be professional regardless of the situation. Like whatever happened in your life, you cannot mix them with work and your private life like that. You have to be a professional because this big job that what is called this is a job that make you like what is make you purity, like this is what about your habit, about your daily activity. So you have to be a professional. And sometimes Indonesian people use their weekend for working, and it is not often they should increase their holiday and relation time. Like they always they always do their job in everywhere and every time. They are not focused only for doing something like one things. They not focused in one things. And many Indonesians have a state of mind where they are comfortable with their every job and don't want to fight for the best. This is really Indonesian slogan or maybe symbols like that. And Indonesians are loyal employees and they will rather accept less pay than work in a culture which is not good like me. I already don't like I already depends with my vibes of work. I already depends with my co-workers. Like I must have and enjoyed co-workers because it does not make me burden to having this job. And let's move on with United Kingdom. United Kingdom, or Britain, is a sovereign country in northwestern Europe off the northwestern coast of the European mainland. Like what I already said, the United Kingdom is separate to like Indonesia, but the difference is United Kingdom have four countries in their country, so it is a country that having a country. And the government system of United Kingdom is parliamentary sovereignty, unitary state, and monarchy constitutional. And the official language of the United Kingdom is, of course, English. United Kingdom people like to use public transportation such as bus, train, or just by walking to their office every day because they not have a lot of traffic jam. And of course, if in Indonesia there is no traffic jam, I will prefer use public transportation than private transportation. And in this case, they work hard but partying harder. They follow strict working hours, but when it is already weekends, they really spend their time for relaxing and holiday too. So this is what I like about workout culture in United Kingdom. That they has a spirit. They always spirit their focus, their time, like when they must do their job, their priority, and how to having relaxing time like that. And people in British are known for their straightforward talks on data and numbers, but they also like their chats before focus on the job. So I think United Kingdom has a little bit enjoy people in their work. And there is still hierarchy system in British, like there are always senior or what's it called? Senior co-workers that have on time in your work than you. There is what again? The thing about your individual is second is not such a good idea in British work culture because they believe in things very much like Indonesia and United Kingdom is having their work culture. They have work culture about discussing within the individual, with the job individual. And how about seniority? There is 5 seniority from these facts that I already wrote it. 1. There are also many languages in United Kingdom, like Indonesian too. Both English and British are still into hierarchy structure, of course. Humor is an important thing in their work culture, and because of that, they always communicate their opinion. They both are always used for the language, such as British senior or hand gestures. Whereas in their country, immigrant is being welcome and treated well. And yes, that's all about my presentation about my dream job and my dream country for my career. I hope you can have knowledge about this presentation. I'm sorry if I don't do it perfectly and not do it with friendly because I don't have English too much in my daily life, so it's still hard for me to make a conversation in English. Hope you guys can like and can understand my presentation. And yeah, it's all from me. Thank you again, guys, and see you. Bye bye.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Syarifah Hanna Afifah. Right now I would like to present my Venn diagram about similarities and difference work culture between Indonesia and my dream country Australia. And just for your information, I wanna be a public relation. Okay, without any further ado, let's get started. We'll explain the difference first, then we talk about the similarities later, alright? Okay, okay, now first one we have read in Indonesia, work are used to calling their boss Mr. or Mrs. But in Australia, workers can say hello to boss by his first name, and it is perfectly normal. The workers here talk to their boss as if their status is the same, and they quickly complain to their boss when there is a problem. In Indonesia, number 2, in Indonesia, the custom of greeting anyone and whenever workers meet or say goodbye is still lacking, but there are some people who are used to it. But in Australia, there is a custom of greeting each other. Australians are generally used to greeting anyone and whenever they meet or say goodbye. Number 3, in Indonesia, if there is a business meeting, it is held in a formal setting. But in Australia, it is common for business meeting or intense meeting or interview to be in a somewhat informal setting. Handshake, jokes, and pats on the back are common. Last, in number 4, in Indonesia, it is not mandatory to speak English, but in Australia, English is mandatory because if you use a language from various countries, it is considered disrespectful to the Australian people. Now I want to tell you about similarities. Yang number 1, but Indonesia and the Australian have a high sense of tolerance. Number 2, but in Indonesia and Australian share a deep disciplined attitude. Number 3, but Indonesia and Australian have the attitude of deliberation or discussion every time they will take a decision to reach a mutual agreement. Last, number 4, both Indonesia and Australia have the attitude of completing work on time and not procrastination. So I have explained the whole thing about similarities and difference work culture between Indonesia and Australia. I hope this could help for someone who wants to work in Australia just like me. I apologize if there's been a mistake. It's my time to say goodbye now. Thank you for your attention. Have a good day. Thank you semua. Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Burhan and I'm from the University of Communication Science 2020. After in my Venn diagram regarding specific things such as similarities, difference in Indonesia and Australia according to my future. I want you to explain. In difference, Indonesia and Australia, number 1. In Indonesia, I use time flexibility activity schedule for 9 a.m. usually start at a half past 9 a.m. even at 10 a.m. sometimes even later. Like number 2, education in Indonesia semester exam, school exams to national exam in Indonesia determine whether a student is grade for test. Indonesian society is taught to call older people as Mr., Mrs., or Masula. Food in Indonesia differ in herbs and spices. Similarity in Indonesia and Australia. Indonesia and Australia are both diverse countries. The two countries share a diversity of languages, religions, and races. Indonesia and other some Australia countries that allow democracy. Indonesia and Australia but respect different experience and religions. Indonesia and Australia have the same climate, namely tropical climate. Difference Australia and Indonesia. Australia, number 1. Australian society feels time to be used very efficiently. The start and hours of activity must be as scheduled. In Australia, when the semester exam student is not a determinant of graduation, they will still go up pass regular papers or the grade they get in the test. Some in work contact in Australia, an employee is not expected to call his boss, superior, and Mr., Mrs. employees only need to call their boss by their first name only. In Australia, it's less usually, and there shall be a pleasure and a dessert when eating.
So hello guys, my name's Indah Lestari and here I want to share you all something. I want to talk about the different things between my dream country and Indonesia. But before we get there, let me share something to you all. Wait, hold on. Here we go. I hope you all can see the screen that I share. So before we start this, I want to tell you all something that my dream job is to be a public relation, and I'm from Indonesia. So here I want to tell you all that I choose South Korea as my dream country.
Little facts that why did I choose South Korea as my dream country is just because I love one of South Korean boy band. So it's called BTS, and they really inspired me. Like, yeah, I love them so much. It's just intermezzo for me. So here we go. We have two things to do. Maybe I will I will explain to you all the different things between Indonesia and South Korea first. And then we're gonna talk about the similarities between Indonesia and South Korea. So, the different things between Indonesia and South Korea. The first line here is mostly people using private transportation in Indonesia. Some of Indonesians choose to use private transportation. Maybe it's just because it's more comfortable than using the public transportation. Because maybe some of them thinks that using public transportation is like we might get hot or have a bad smell or something. It's really different with South Korea. Mostly people using public transportation. So public transportation here is like mostly they use bus, I think. They use bus. So we need to know, we no need to wonder why South Korea has many bus stops there, because the people likes to use public transportation for sure. So the second one is people in Indonesia mostly friendly to anyone even though they don't know each other. So usually Indonesian people like to greet each other, like they don't know each other. Maybe there is someone who walk past by the road and they just like hello, or even just smile. Is it okay? Is it like normal like in Indonesia? But it's different with South Korea. It seems like they don't really care if they don't know each other. It's like they usually ignore people that they don't really know. So they gonna greet that people if they know them, but they do not greet them if they do not know them. The next is number 3. Usually being indisciplined. As example, late is still acceptable. So, late is still okay here in Indonesia. But late is not even okay in South Korea. The people in South Korea mostly always on time, and the late things is not acceptable. They never accept the late things. The number four here is usually using cell phone or even social media during works. So as we know that Indonesian people cannot get off from their gadgets or something. Usually even if they're working here, but if there's notification from their phones, maybe they're gonna take the phones and read the notification first. It's really different with South Korea. Usually they're always focused during works. Even most of them are turning off their phones while working, so they don't get any notification, so they can really focus on their work like that. So the last different things that I put here is Indonesia has a variety of languages. As we all know, Indonesia has a variety of languages such as like Japanese language and Sundanese language and many of all. It's really different with South Korea. They only have one language. The language is Korean language. Okay, I'm done. I'm done explaining about the different things between Indonesia and South Korea as my dream country. It's time to me to explain to you all the similarities between Indonesia and South Korea. The first one, a Republican. Why did I write Republican here? Because we have the same things as a country. I mean, like Indonesia have president and Korean have their president too. I don't know how to explain, but yeah, something like that. The number two is using certain title to call their boss. As the example, if my boss is a girl, so I need to call her Miss or Mrs. But if my boss is a boy, I'm gonna call him like Mr. or Sir. It's the same things. It's the same goes to South Korea. The third one is wearing a formal outfit. Same things, Indonesian and Korean, same wearing formal outfit and also using working hours. The number 5 is hierarchy, and number 6, both Indonesian and Korean are Asian country. So I think that's all for me to explain. That's enough to explain to you all the differences between Indonesian and the similarities between Indonesian and South Korea also. So yeah, maybe that's all for me. I'm sorry if I made a mistake or something because I'm really nervous here. I'm not really that fluent in English, but I'm doing my best. I'm trying my best. So yeah, that's all for me. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for for your time, especially. So yeah, I'm gonna stop it here. Thank you guys. Bye. Have a good day.
Guys, my name is Fathiya Sabila Nasas. I will explain the difference and similarities between Indonesia and country of my dream job, namely South Korea. Before that, I want to explain why I chose South Korea as my dream job country because the creative industry in South Korea is already very advanced in the field of photography. Wait, I will share screen and explain to all of you. Okay, first of all, I will explain between my dream job country is Korea and my country is Indonesia. Number 1. Workers in South Korea are known for their fast work rhythm, but still give the best result with the principle of time is running out. South Korea generally have a kind of fixed continuity, weekly and monthly target that they must achieve. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, this system may only be implemented for a few companies that actually operate in certain fields, such as marketing, accounting, and several others. Second, in South Korea, if an employee makes a mistake, the boss immediately reprimands the employee with a firm and emotional tone in order to provide a deterrent effect and shame, so that the next day he can give a better performance. But in Indonesia, manners are one of the identities of the people. If you make a mistake or feel bad, you can reprimand more quality without being emotional, and even take a personal approach, so that the employee is more open, so that it can improve work performance. And the last, in Korea, when working hours, they will stay focused during that time. They generally won't open social media, use portal, gossip, or do other trivial things that are not work-related. But in Indonesia, if there is a lot of free time while working, most of them spend that time doing things that have nothing to do with work, such as gossiping or just opening. Then, the last one, I will explain the similarities similarities of Indonesia and Korea. Number 1, both Indonesia and South Korea are republic countries. Number 2, the family culture in Indonesia is very strong and must be preserved. Family is very important for us. Likewise, in Korea, putting the family first is the main thing. Indonesia and Japan still believe in the myth of the past. And the last one, the livelihoods of the population of Indonesia and South Korea are mostly fishermen and farmers. And that's all. Thank you for the attention.